Campaigns, e-campaigning.
And then the third part, the call to action, would have been come to London for the march. Well, he used a pretty big e-campaign, but the essential point is the tools he used are exactly the same as you can use within a smaller campaign. So what did he do? He had 13 million supporters on his email list, 3 million online donors, 3 million Facebook friends, and 70,000 fundraising hubs, raising $30 million.
Sorry, what are hubs?
Hubs, bases.
Martin has created a toolkit for disabled people's organisations on social media and on how DPOs might use the internet as a campaigning tool.
By definition, a DPO is going to have their passion and probably the campaign they want to run already burning in their bellies and in their hearts. So I think that side of it already exists. I think it's just about embracing this newer media to also complement the media that you're also using. It's not to replace old media, it's just a new avenue.
Today, Martin's hosting a seminar for DPOs based on the toolkit.
All of the tools that's in the toolkit are basically free or very, very low cost, so there's no big investment on a finance level. And then in terms of the power of the tools, they're infinite. Once the DPO or an individual has chosen their campaign they want to talk about and they look to use some of these tools, you can't really plan for what will happen through those avenues, but from the experiences that have been shared today, there's been some very unforeseen but very big and impressive knock-on effects, and essentially it just amplifies the voice that you want to have onto a level that could go to other people around the country or even around the world we've seen today. So it's a very, very powerful tool.
E-campaigns on disability issues have had some notable successes.
A couple of years ago with the former Labour government, but there was a lot of talks around cutting the attendance allowance and disability living allowance. The people that sort of came together through a lot of the social media tools, they wanted to raise the awareness of the fact that these cuts should not occur, and to have confirmation from the government that that wouldn't happen. And so by using Facebook and Twitter and all the other tools, they were able to call this group of online people to action to sign an e-petition which had over 23,000 names, and in the long run that meant that the government then assured that these cuts wouldn't take place, and it put social care at the forefront. So it was a very powerful use of social media.
And as an organisation, what it's allowed us to do is spread the word about our organisation, spread the word about what we're trying to achieve as an organisation.
How would you encourage more DPOs to consider e-campaigning as a tool?
As with anything, there are scary parts. It is a little bit about having the confidence to just get involved and have a go at it, but knowing that you might sort of find some things a bit difficult and it might take longer than you'd like and some bits might be scary. But I think probably to acknowledge and accept that and then seek the necessary help from a friend or a family member or someone professional that can fill that little bit of knowledge that you maybe don't have. But I think the point is learning by doing, really.
Yeah, do you think it's possible to tell the story of the history of the disability movement and even tell the story of how the social model of disability was developed in a language that will appeal to the younger generation? Because that sense that
Martin's e-campaigning toolkit is in 3 parts: telling your story, building your community, and the call to action.
Everyone heard of Facebook? Everyone on Facebook? Yeah, it's a social media website. But a big part of where this can link into online campaigning is something called a fan page. A big part of telling the story is writing with your blog, and for me the learning by doing was very essential, because over about a year I developed and changed and altered and in the end I hope perfected a writing style. And also there's other ways of telling a story. If it's not writing, it could be videos or photos, and different people might have different strengths and weaknesses, so you could actually just home in on your strengths and not have to go down an avenue that maybe you're more fearful of as well. I suppose the biggest tip would be always be willing to learn. I think learn about yourself, your campaign, what people like hearing about, what they don't like hearing about. Let them inform your views and be willing to change your own views as you go, and just enjoy the ride.